Come on. Come on, Mark. Two more. One more.
That's it. Good. That's perfect. Okay. Two. One more time. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
I find weight training really helps me to focus my mind when I use that to other things, like writing my music and everything like that. And it's for the business that I'm in, it's essential that I look after myself, that I all the time eat healthy, that I'm all the time in shape, even for my dancing and everything. It's really just part of the big picture. It's another thing that really helps me to get where I'm going.
Marcus has a dream. He's on a journey, and every journey has to start somewhere. The outskirts of a rural Irish town like Dundalk is as good a place as any to start. Marcus has always loved music from a very young age. It's in his blood. At the age of 20, he won the Young Person of the Year award for his fundraising work with the charity organisation Concern. He's always wanted to help people, and the best way to do that will be through his music. His dad runs a construction company, but Marcus isn't showing any signs of following in his footsteps. He puts up the money to set Marcus off on his musical journey.
Right, have a nice day.
Thanks very much.
If you're going to be the biggest thing to happen in the international music industry, the first thing to do is to form a band. Marcus asked his brother Philip, who's a carpenter, to sing the backing vocals and make the tea. Their first cousin Darren was the third member, and the group was called Y. Marcus wrote all the music, and they recorded it onto a CD. In the music business, it's called a demo. And to complete the package, they made a video too, with a message.
When we first started this project, we had one simple goal, and that was to create the biggest group the world has ever and will ever know. And I suppose that's where our future lies. That's the aim, that's the goal, that's the dream we'll be chasing after.
But after a couple of months, Darren and Philip changed their minds and decided that the dream was not for them. And so they left the biggest group that the world would ever know.
The reason I bailed out was because I realised it wasn't for me. When I was looking at Y and thinking that this was going to be the project for me, I was basing that on money, on success, on fame. But at the end of the day, that's not what I want in life. So I just stepped back and took a better look and a closer look at myself and what I really wanted. And I realised that it wasn't for me.
Hands on your chest. Push up with the hands.
But it is for Marcus. He does want to be famous, but he's going to have to do it on his own.
I met Marcus Fearon for the first time back in September of 1998-99. I was just back from a Tony Quinn seminar in Monte Carlo. I got a phone call from someone else who had attended this seminar and said, listen, Marcus would like to meet up with you. He's trying to put together a team.
Marcus is an enigma that every so often there is an enigma in the music industry, whether it's someone like Madonna or someone like the Beatles. Marcus is one of these gifted people.
Pat believes that Marcus has what it takes to be a star, so he agrees to give him the financial backing for his 3 projects. Marcus is going to produce 1 hip-hop gospel album, 1 pop album, and 1 light classical album, all at the same time.
That was before I started training with Conor. This is before my 6-week. I did a 6-week diet where I was eating porridge, ox's hearts and beans. It's a very strict diet. I'd have to eat about 7 pound half a stone of food a day. It was a full-time job. Like, you'd spend about 4.5–5 hours eating and then preparing and everything like that. Once you put on that, it's always going to be really there, so it'll be easier to get it again. But even in that, I always know that if I need it for a video or a photo shoot or anything like that, that I can get to it, you know. It's not that there's something wrong with the shape I'm in or the weight I am. It's not even a case of that. It's just that I want to be a certain way, and when I am that certain way, that it really, really affects everything I do.
Getting the body into shape is only one half of the battle. The mind needs to be there as well. So having spent a few weeks in the Bahamas, getting the philosophy right under the guidance of guru Tony Quinn, Marcus is ready. With his mobile phone in one hand and philosophy and demo in the other, he's off to find the perfect place and the perfect people to record his 3 musical projects. It's London first. Abbey Road Studios is a monument to the British music industry. Because the Beatles recorded there, Madonna passed it by. Will it be okay for Marcus? Moira is there to greet him.
That one's over here because we changed one of the studios into a mixing room and we had nowhere to put the piano. So.
Moira is from Waterford. She's a mother of 3, and just like Pat, she too has been hit by Marcus's charisma.
It depends when your project is. Within the next year, well, we've got plans to rebuild the control room slightly and build 2 isolation rooms as well.
Yeah.
Marcus met Moira at that Tony Quinn course in the Bahamas, and now she's his personal assistant.
For me, it's just things like harps. I like to have them in as a boots, harps, and timpani and stuff like that. And any percussion and stuff like that I'll probably record separately.
Timpani? Percussion? Let's check out the London Symphony Orchestra. Their manager, Sue, is based at the Barbican Centre.
I trust you had a good breakfast. I got one message from this man saying, just having a spot of breakfast, be there at 11:20. The next thing. So is this demo
Yes.
the project that you then want to...
I'm going to re-record all the
involve
songs in
the
that,
orchestra?
plus another 10 songs, but that is the project, the type of music, yeah. Those songs plus an additional 10.
Sorry, I'm still confused. Are you aiming to have different tracks with different sections of the orchestra, or are you aiming to have the whole...
The way I would work is I don't necessarily try and work with it in a budget. Obviously, I use the best elements that I needed for a project, and then I look at budget, if you follow me. So if my sound is going to sound better with a full orchestra, well then I use a full orchestra, and then I address the budget. I don't address the budget and then say, well, okay, I can have this amount of players because of my budget. So it's a little bit differently how I work, because to me, I can't sacrifice the sound for anything, and that's the way I would work, and that's the way the project
You
has
must
been.
have some very wealthy backers.
We have very, very wealthy backers.
Right, you need them.
That was a demo. That's actually the largest demo produced in the history of music.
Right,
So
okay.
we're very elaborate with our ideas.
So what sort of audience are you aiming at?
Initially, I'm going to have to break into the pop world. Yeah, but when you listen to it, you'll see it's got gospel, pop, and hip-hop. It's a cross between the 3, really. So I'm trying to do what every artist, I think, tries to do. I suppose is try to get everybody. I'm doing that too, but I'm also doing like a separate project, which is pretty unique also. It's I'm recording like a light classical. I write a lot of light classical, right? You should have a listen, see what you think.
Right.
Do you have time to listen now? To one track.
Can you leave these with me?
I can indeed, yes. It's got everything in it. So that was my first tackle at trying to write, but it's very light classical. I've never tried writing it in heavy.
So how are you financing this?
Privately, we've got some business people who sort of love the music, love the project, and want to make some money. I just know that one perfect. I know I can pick up on those things. I just know that was a perfect meeting. You know, she's confused and saying, you know, this guy is a bit, but she's curious. Do you get what I'm saying? No, that would click with him. I know it will. I know it will click with him. I would even go so far as to say I'd probably get a phone call from him saying the music's great.
His next appointment is with the man who produced Boy George and Culture Club.
The thing I found the most was you're definitely going down an interesting route, because it's neither dance, neither rock, and
I've only been involved in this business like less than a year and a half, and they are the first 5 songs I've ever made any attempt at producing. So in other words, my attempt at producing was simply hearing something in my head and through no experience trying to put that out there.
I mean, you've got so many things that are right, and that surprises me a lot.